Hey, good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, Shabbat God of Dice, man. We are back. We are back. Hope you are having a very good week. I know that I am. And hope you have a very good weekend, man. As we get closer and closer to the end of the NFL season, we're breaking down the latest and greatest. Let me get into a little bit of the housekeeping. How you doing, Miss Teresa? How you doing, Dr. Nikki? Get a bit of the housekeeping. We'll be AKBK tomorrow. We'll be breaking down. It'll be a lot of b-ball, but we'll be talking about some other topics. Some other stuff kind of came up in my algorithm. And let me kind of just start the show with that. For those who are not aware, who have not been a long time listener to the show, I don't know what you've been doing. But hey, you're here now. But yes, UCLA offensive coordinator Eric Bieniemy has been fired. As of today, press release was sent out by the team saying he's been let go after 1 year with the team as the OC. UCLA's offense ranked, I want to say 126. When you think about that, that is a real bottom tier. As far as point production is concerned. I looked at the job, and let me say this: I looked at Eric Bieniemy taking that job. As I just need something to do until I get an opportunity to come back into the NFL. Like I said, if you've been listening to the show, we've been following closely the Eric Bieniemy journey. Following his journey since being moving on from being offensive coordinator of the Kansas City Chiefs, at the time, two-time Super Bowl winner, went to Washington Commanders, didn't turn out too well, and went to UCLA this past year. And we had talked about, him getting passed over for position. And we've had previous shows on this channel, talking about, diversity as far as, minorities, or let's say black, let's call it what it is, black individuals being placed in head coaching positions, general manager positions, that kind of stuff. We talked about the Art Rooney rule, but it's it was expected. I didn't think him going to college was going to be a long-term thing. Now I hope Eric Bieniemy gets the opportunity to come back to the NFL. I think he was should have been a head coach. Guy goes out there as offensive coordinator for a Super Bowl winning team. Typically, those guys get looked at first for head coaching positions, but you know how the NFL can be. If you ain't down with the owner, if you ain't cool with the owner, it's no chance of hiring. Think about this. Jeff Saturday, ESPN analyst, has more experience right now head coaching a NFL football team than Eric Bieniemy, and Jeff Saturday had no head coaching experience prior to getting hired by the Indianapolis Colts in the middle of the season. So, I mean, that goes to show, you ain't down with the owner, you ain't cool with the owner don't get a good vibe off of you. I don't care what your success rate is, what you've done, how you've been in the NFL in a coordinator position, position coach. We don't like you, you ain't down with us, and, we don't get that old boy vibe from you, you're not getting hired for a position. We did discuss that quite a bit, Dr. Nick. We did discuss that quite a bit. And I'm gonna get into it a little bit deeper probably tomorrow on the KBK show as we kind of go around the world of sports and I give you my thoughts and opinions and views and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I want to kind of get the show out the way because it is a very big game. A lot of very important games as we come down the stretch of the NFL season. One big game is tonight. I want to say kickoff is at 8:15ish. I do want to be in the house watching that for sure. What's going on, Triggs? I do want to be watching that game. That is the Detroit Lions at home Thursday night game against the Green Bay Packers. A lot is riding on this game, not just for the division, but we're talking about potential playoff seeding implications. Detroit currently sits in the number one spot in the NFC. I got Detroit at the top of my board as far as the power rankings are concerned, but Green Bay is not that far behind. Only 2 games back of Detroit for the division. I think both teams will be in the playoffs unless something drastically happens in regards to Green Bay. I think Detroit is in there, but this is a very important game. Detroit has pretty much smashed damn near everybody they've had the opportunity to beat, and I think this is going to be a litmus test to kind of see where Detroit is. We've talked about this with the injuries kind of piling up in Detroit. Will they be able to hold on? Will they be able to stay healthy coming down this final stretch of the season where they going to the playoffs as healthy as possible? Already lost Aiden Hutchinson for the year, lost the starting middle linebacker Malcolm Rodriguez, both are integral parts of the defense that has been lights out this season. I don't think Detroit defense gets enough credit, but the plan gets a very good Green Bay team that is very balanced on offense. Still has Jordan Love at the helm at the quarterback position, and Jordan Love last couple games has been kind of clean for him. He had a bit of a stretch there where he was turning the ball over on a very consistent basis. But Green Bay is not going to be an easy win for Detroit tonight. With both teams played on Thanksgiving, so fatigue and short week. Typically, y'all know I pick on Thursday games. I typically go with the home team. Going with the home team tonight, of course, picking Detroit, but I think it's going to be a very interesting game. And we could be talking about a potential shakeup in the NFC depending on how this game goes. If Green Bay is able to win, not only will they take a game back from Detroit, bring them back closer, have an opportunity to possibly things got to break their way, not only win the division, but also end up with the number one seed in the conference. And I think NFC is going to be very important who has home field advantage. Right now, Detroit has it, but a loss tonight, you're talking about Philadelphia, tied with a record with Philadelphia, tied with a record with Minnesota. Green Bay be a game behind. It's no room for error for Detroit as we come down the stretch as far as these big divisional matchups that they have remaining on the schedule. Got Green Bay tonight, got Minnesota in about a week or so. Very big game, but I got Detroit. I got Detroit. I think Detroit offense is going to be able to do enough because as much as we talked about injuries on the Detroit side, Green Bay has had some injuries on their side, also on the defensive side. Eucalyptus lady. I've been seeing you. Speak Greasy, what's happening? Make sure you tune in for tomorrow for the KBK because listen, I'm going to give my unabashed, unapologetic opinion on what's going on with the Lakers and more specifically LeBron James. Lakers fans may not want to hear what I got to say tomorrow, but I think it's about time it needs to be said, and I feel it's only right. It has to come from me. I'm just saying to keep it open and fair. I'm gonna go in and speak. It's time. It's time. But we'll say that for tomorrow. Make sure y'all tune in for the KBK show tomorrow. Like I said, we're gonna be talking about basketball a whole lot, but a lot of other stuff too, man. You know how I kind of make it work. As we look forward to the rest of the NFL weekend, like I said, it's a lot of big games in regards to possible playoff positioning, teams fighting for a spot, teams fighting to maintain a spot as we come down the stretch of this season. Big game on the schedule. It's not a sexy game. I'm going to be honest with you. It's not a sexy game. It's not going to be like must-see TV for me. And that is the Atlanta Falcons on the road against the Minnesota Vikings. Both teams with a lot to play for. Atlanta currently sitting atop the NFC South due to tiebreakers, but have a 6-6 record, same as the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So a loss here and a Tampa Bay win. We're having a very discussion next week. I think Atlanta needs a win, but Minnesota just has so much to play for. Also, still a game back of Detroit, depending on how tonight's game go. Could be talking about Minnesota sitting in the driver's seat for the division and for the number one seed in the NFC. Minnesota has played very well at home. We talked about Sam Darnold, how he's kind of, I wouldn't say falling off the cliff, but gradually regress back to the means and regress back to the player that he typically is, which is a pretty steady starter, but nothing spectacular. I think Minnesota's defense is going to go out there and give Atlanta fits. Kirk Cousins is had a very rough stretch of games, had 4 interceptions in his last game. It's talk coming out of Atlanta that we could be seeing Michael Penix if it kind of goes bad. As Kirk Cousins continues to struggle at the quarterback position, I think he's Minnesota's defense. Brian Flores got them guys flying around. I think he's going to be able to make some things happen against Atlanta. And like I said, Atlanta needs a win because I think only one team, in my opinion, there's only one team going to come out the NFC South, and it's going to probably be the division winner. And Atlanta, with the way that they're playing, they kind of trended in the wrong direction. This was a team that was 6-3. Not too long ago, we were talking about them, probably being in that upper echelon of teams in the NFC, and they've, kind of fallen back, and offense is kind of been the struggle. Special teams has been an issue for Atlanta the last couple of games, but I got Minnesota in this. I think Minnesota goes out there, plays with a sense of urgency, wants the game they have remaining on the schedule against Detroit to mean something. You don't want to give Detroit too much breathing room with her, too far ahead. And like if Detroit wins tonight, Minnesota loses. You're talking about a 2-game lead with only 5 games left in the season. After this, 4 games in the season. After this week, So I think Minnesota's going to go out there, putting the importance on the game, still playing. Atlanta's still a very good football team. Just struggled of late, but I think Minnesota goes out there and takes care of business. Oh, what's going on, Spot? Y'all tripping, man. Eucalyptus, welcome to the club. You got 50 on the Packers. Yeah, you're a typical loser when it comes to the bet, Triggs. You're a typical loser when it comes to the bet. But listen. Detroit has had some big injuries. Green Bay has had some big injuries, and this is a divisional game. It can go a lot of different ways. Both of these teams are very familiar. Both of these teams, like I said, it's not an issue of one team, coming in on a short week or nothing like that. Both of them played on Thanksgiving, so they've had time off. I think, like I said, Detroit at home, man, is a different animal. I think Detroit kind of gets after it. Speaking of getting after it, other big games on the week schedule. And then, like I said, it's not a lot of sexy games when you look at some of the matchups, but a lot of important games, to say the least. You got the Seattle Seahawks on the road against the Arizona Cardinals. Seattle currently sitting a game ahead of the Cardinals and the Rams for first place in the division. 2 games up on the San Francisco 49ers, who I think dead in the water with the injuries that they've had this season. But this is a very interesting game. Like, division lead is on the line in this one, and much like I've been saying about Seattle, man, it's hard to pick a Seattle game because you never know what kind of team you're going to get. Seattle was able to pick up the victory last time these teams played, but it wasn't like it was a dominant victory. I think Arizona had some opportunities in that game to kind of get some stuff done, just came up short. Lost a very tough game. They came off a bye week. Maybe it was a little bit of rust, but it's a lot going on with this one. It's a lot on the line with this one. I want to pick Seahawks just because they've been on a bit of a consistent stretch the last couple of weeks. Like I said, I struggle picking Seahawks games, man, because when I think that the Seahawks, have kind of turned the corner, and they'll go out there and lay an egg. But I think they take care of business on the road with Arizona. I think Arizona, is going to have an opportunity to win. But, much like we've talked about the Cardinals all year long, no matter how good the coaching is, no matter how good those players play, how hard they play smart football, eventually in the NFL, talent, you got to have talent. And I think what you've seen from the Cardinals throughout the season, in the games that they lost, you see that bereft of talent, glaring and shining through. Give the head coach a kudos for having this team in this position. I, for one, did not have the Cardinals competing for the division at all this year. So, sometimes I could be wrong. Sometimes I can be wrong. But I got Seahawks on the road. I think Seahawks take care of business. Get some little separation and understanding the importance of this game, and what it means to not only with the division, but also we talk about possible wild card scenarios as we come down the stretch of the season. Another game that has wild card scenarios heavily involved, and I think for me, probably must see TV this weekend. It's going to be the Buffalo Bills going on the road to play the Rams. Rams, like I said, sit a game back in their division for that lead. Buffalo wants to continue to put the pressure on Kansas City and still have an outside chance. But Buffalo's already into the playoffs. Buffalo's already secured the division. Now they're playing for the number 1 seed. Can't afford to lose games coming down the stretch. Buffalo has been playing very consistent ball. Josh Allen, after last week, is kind of leapfrogged Lamar Jackson and Saquon Barkley as far as the MVP conversation kind of goes. Do I want to pick Buffalo? Guys, I've been big on the Rams. I like what they've done with the Rams as far as turning over the roster, those young guys. What's going on, YouTube photo? How you doing? I like what they've done with the roster as far as getting those young guys, especially on the defensive side of the ball. But it's Buffalo, I think, is on a mission. And I think Buffalo's going to come in. Even though the Rams have a lot to play for, as we talk about coming down the stretch of this season, I just think Buffalo's playing on a completely different level. Josh Allen is playing on a completely different level. This is not the Josh Allen from years past where he's been very turnover prone. And if you watch Buffalo, especially on the offensive side of the ball, they've gotten better at spreading the weight around as far as carrying the offense. James Cook has been had a fantastic year. And excuse me, Josh Allen has done a very good job of spreading the ball around, not relying on one dominant receiver. And we talked about, was this offense going to struggle without Stephon Diggs, who they traded before the season started? It took them a minute to kind of get it together, but I think Buffalo's kind of in a groove right now. The defense is playing phenomenal right now. I don't think Buffalo's defense gets a lot of credit for how well they performed this year, considering, some of the guys that left in the off season. But this team is right now, when you look at the Buffalo Bills, you can make the argument that this is the best team in the NFL. I don't think they take the Rams lightly. The Rams are going to go out there and compete. I think it's going to be a very, very entertaining game between two high-level quarterbacks, Josh Allen. Matthew Stafford shows you from time to time he can still get it done. He has the weapons to get it done. So it's going to be a challenge for Buffalo, but I got Buffalo on the road in this one. Speaking of being on the road, you got the Chargers going on the road to play the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, the Kansas City, all year we've been talking about their offense. Getting it together, showing us, what we expect from the Kansas City offense, which is to put up a lot of points and dominate teams. It's just not happening this year. Patrick Mahomes has probably had his worst season stat wise, but this team keeps finding a way week after week after week after week to win. I don't know if you want to call that luck. I don't know if you want to call that assistance from the 12th man. And I'm talking to you, the guys with the stripes. But Kansas City keeps finding a way to win these games. But the Chargers come in with a lot to prove, still want to be in a position to compete for the wild card. And I think the Chargers are going to come in with a mentality in this game. It's a bit different from years past. In this matchup, I think the Chargers are going to come in. They don't talk as fast as CE raps. Listen, because I have a habit. And this has happened a couple times this year during the season. When I start the show like 8:30, 9 o'clock on the Thursday show, it always turns out to be a very good game I'm missing on the Thursday night. So listen, I said I'm trying to get through this material. I'm trying to get through my picks in enough time to where I can watch at least no later than the end of the first quarter. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. And I'll talk about the CE stuff. Listen, I'm active, but I'm not active. I'm active, but I'm not active. But I'm trying to get through the material. Oh hell, here we go. Speak, man.
Hey, Docs, don't be trying to get out of here. The game ain't gonna start till the second half. What are you doing?
I'm just saying, listen, I have a habit when I start these shows late on Thursday, it turns out to be a very good game I'm missing. I come in, I'm like, oh, damn, I don't miss an exciting first half. I was up there running my damn mouth, making picks. So, listen, I'm trying to get out of here so I can watch the game and enjoy it. And, I mean, it's a big game. You got Packers and Lions, a lot's on the line with this one. And I like watching Detroit play, man. Watching their offenses is beautiful to watch.
Man, don't nobody went here. Detroit going out early this year, man. They're just like they did last year. They gonna let everybody down. You know what I mean? Don't even worry about it. But you running too fast, man. You sound like JJ Fad. Number C, number do it, number. Which
Now speak. Listen, like I said, I'm active, but I'm not active. I watched the rap battle. If you want to call it that.
It's a sport. You got to cover it. You got to cover it. What did you think?
I mean, I'm always entertained when LV puts something together. First of all, because it takes, for those who know how to create content. I ain't talking about the 2.0, but those who know how to create content. So you got to put a lot of thought into it, like how I'm gonna do it, how it's gonna be set up, and then you having to get people involved. And a lot of people don't understand that could be a struggle for us, as far as like getting people to be involved in stuff. Because typically you get the same people doing it because nobody wants to volunteer. So I'm always giving kudos to him for being able to put those shows together. It's what I thought it was gonna be.
No, you got to go in depth now. The Triggs had a long round, right?
I mean, it was unlimited.
Exactly. No
Yeah,
problem with that. A lot of people don't understand that because they don't know the nomenclature of battle rap, which
yeah.
is cool. But what did you think of Triggs bars? You think he delivered, especially with 13 minutes worth of material getting through it? What was your thoughts?
Yeah, I think he did a very good job. You know, first of all, I wouldn't have wrote rounds that long. Considering who my opponent was, I'll be honest. No,
Well, he hit a lot of people. He hit a lot of people.
I mean, my opponent, like I'm looking at it like I want to send shots, but my opponent is who I'm battling. Like if I'm going to get, let's say I'm writing and going against the speakeasy, yeah, I'm putting a lot of material, unlimited. Oh yeah, I got to. I gotta have a lot of quotables. I gotta have a lot of ooh.
Right, right.
I gotta have some Don DeMarcos in there, but I mean he at 13 minutes. I mean he held it together. I would have cut it short after about 6 minutes. But he had the material and he had an idea of what he wanted to do. Shots had to be fired at a number of people, and he took the time to really do it. And I liked his pacing to where if you're not a battle rap fan, you could follow along with some of the double entendres he was doing. Like you could follow along. It was simple enough to where people could follow along and understand, okay, boom, that's what he's talking about. Okay, I caught that. On the flip side,
All right.
I don't know. I don't know what that was. Be honest with you, because I was confused first by the flow pattern. Never heard that in any of the material he's ever kind of put out. And it just let me know that he didn't come prepared. He wasn't taking it serious. He probably thought he was gonna come up and get away with some cocaine stripper type bars. And it wasn't set for that. And I thought, him versus anybody was gonna be a bad matchup for him because they was gonna write, their stuff. It was gonna
Right.
it was gonna be fresh material. And we as the audience walked in with the expectation that he was going to give us something that he's already rapped, something we've already heard. But when he started, trying to give us the twist of flow, and it was just like, for me, it was like a bunch of nonsense. I went back and listened, like, was it, it wasn't really nothing clever, nothing targeting.
He didn't mention Triggs' name one time. Like, battle rap, you're addressing the cat you talking to.
Yeah, like I said, I don't think I know CE, man. I knew he wasn't gonna take it serious. I knew that off rip, but I was surprised that he went that route. Like Spot would say Timu Twister.
Timu Twister.
I mean, he was just like, just say to me, it was just like, I'm just saying words. It ain't directed towards nobody. This is kind of like something, and it don't even, first of all, it didn't even sound like something he wrote. Like, cause the flow pattern was it was just like, yeah, you talking about me being JJ Fad. That was some JJ Fad shit. Like, somebody should have been in the background, supersonic. Like, he was just rapping. The resto and Riz was it was okay. For me, I was expecting more.
Expecting more from.
I was expecting more from Riz.
Okay, there you go.
Was like, seeing that you are a rapper, I'm expecting double and triple entendres. Lines are up 7. See, that's why I can't be fucking around on Thursday. But I was expecting more, more punchlines, more battle rap type material, because you're from, about the culture enough to where what's to be expected. You write for your opponent, but I didn't feel no haymakers. I mean, it was a couple of nice lines, but it wasn't like, oh God. It wasn't that. Resto was okay. I didn't come in any expectations. I've never, heard the person, spit bars or nothing like that.
Okay.
the Germ and Pills, it was cool. Um, Germ gave me what I thought Germ was gonna give me was like a minute worth of material because that's that's not really his wheelhouse as far as like battle rap is different. Yeah, and you know that because you follow the culture. It's different.
Yeah,
You got to write different because a lot of it's you're writing for a person, but at the same time you want to have quotables, you want to have punchlines, you want to have setups to those punchlines. It's different than it's writing a song. So it was what it was. Pills, it did okay. I could tell Pills, put some thought and effort into it, so I can, I can appreciate it. I wasn't expecting, no Loaded Lux Calico from anybody.
right.
That's not their, it's not their thing. Maybe it had been like you versus the Propane, and like, yeah, I would have came in with the battle rap hat on, like, yeah, where's the, I want the punches, like, oh, that's a nice setup to that. Like, I caught that. Like, I know where he's going with that. But it was, like I said, overall, it was a nice production, nice show. And kudos to, once again, LV for putting on, because I know, what it's like to be on the flip side of that, trying to put together stuff to get people to participate, and then working around different people's schedules to get that, just to even have the event. It's a lot of work that goes into it. It's not just like I hit the live button, drop the link, and motherfuckers just get to yelling. It's a lot of time and effort put into it. So I've always respected that about him when it comes to approaching the content. But it was a very good thing. Hopefully, he continues that from time to time. Don't oversaturate it. But if you got people that want to get in there and spar, I'm for it. I mean, it's at the end of the day, it's entertainment. It's something to do. And some of these people might surprise you. I don't think anybody thought Triggs was going to give you 13 minutes of stuff that he wrote. No, I don't think anybody thought that coming in. It was like, maybe Triggs give us about 3 to 4 minutes. 5 max, but to really take his time and like, yo, I'm sending shots and I'm a crap. It was dope. It was dope.
It was legitimately dope. Like, I understand why Triggs did what he did because he had a hell of a year and he had a lot of people to talk to, and it's cool. I mean, considering what he went through, he had the right to cook and write
Yeah.
bars, but it's dope, and I think anybody can get into it because, again, you're not following a beat. You're just cooking somebody in a slightly rhythmic form with words. That's it.
Yeah.
Just your words, make them rhyme and be clever. And any of us can do it. Like, girls can do it, guys can do it. It's just a small level of showmanship that you got to have while you're doing it, but that comes with watching other people do it. You know what I mean? So shout out to everybody that participated, man, because people don't realize how difficult it is to write for a person and then have to get your rounds out in front of everybody, not knowing how they going to accept the material that you wrote. Like, it's a lot of pressure involved with that.
Oh yeah, and you, like I said, you follow the culture. It's like the writing is different. It's not, I'm writing a song and goes out to the ladies. Like, no, this is a shot.
You're right.
This is a shot towards you. You know what I'm saying? That takes a bit of creativity because you want it to be witty, you want it to be funny as best you can. Like I said, I wasn't expecting like, oh my god, this is a classic, round or nothing like that. But it was what it was, and I enjoyed the show of it. It's the CE wanting money, like it's all part of the production. It's all part of the show. Like, that those create moments, creates talking points, creates content. I saw people doing reviews, and I was like, yeah,
it served its purpose. Once you get the reviews, it did its job.
Oh yeah,
it did its job.
And I appreciate, like I said, I've always appreciated anybody that takes the time to get up here, especially when we're talking about doing those kind of shows. It's not just me hollering at you. And let me say this for the record. I've never understood the appeal of hollering at a motherfucker and thinking that's a body. Like, to me, like a body is like me, revealing your flaws, and you can't get up from it. You can't back away from it. Like, you hollering this shit, like that's not a, I don't know. That's just my mindset, because I'm from the battle culture. Like, like you got to be saying something to make me like walk away. Like, yo, he went on that one.
Right. But that you dots, you got to remember, a lot of people complain and talk shit, but they can't do anything better. So it's like, well, I'ma just complain about it because I know I can't fuck with the people who doing it. So let me just complain. And that's cool, because you're complaining because you know you don't have the ability to stand up there and put something together. Because I'm gonna be on the next card, whether remix there or not. These
I
bars
heard.
is being structured right now, and I'm fucking him up.
I heard. Like I
Oh,
said, I'm active, but I'm not active.
listen, Doc. I might have to put my gray hoodie on for this one. I might.
Ooh, no, not the hoodie.
I might have to put the gray hoodie on for this one, because I enjoy the sport. I don't know what people are going to think about the shit I write, but when I spit that shit, I'm gonna be spitting it like it's the best shit I ever heard, and that's a part of the shit. But I'm there on the next one. I'm on the card. I'm
Yeah.
battling myself.
I mean, it's, might as well battle yourself. What you gonna do? Battle a ghost? But that's a story for another day. I'm just saying, Dr. Nikki, you are up on the panel.
The
Well,
Doc.
I try not to be rude, and Speak was being rude to me by not answering my question. So I was like, nigga,
I didn't.
you gonna address me.
I'm
What
watching the
you do to
game. I'm not
Riz?
even watching the
What you
chat.
do to Riz? Why he start his rap off by slapping Big Daddy Speak Easy?
What Riz told me, it was somebody else named Speakeasy somewhere, and
And you
so
believe that?
that's what he said, man. I said, all right, it's all good. The shots wasn't too bad, but
It
you know,
wasn't.
you got to take shots in this business, and from Riz, I still got all the respect in the world for Riz as an MC, because I know how good he is.
For
He just
sure.
didn't prepare, but I take shots all the time, man. I be like, all right, it's cool. I'm all right with it. I throw shots all the time, so I got to be cool with a few shots coming back.
But to start it off, I was like, what does Speak do? and judging.
he,
Like,
was
dude.
he was in his bag, Nick.
He was like, F it, I'm slapping everybody. Everybody get a slap. You get a slap. So you ready? Like, I bet you ready now.
No, not. I'm still structuring where I want this line to go, that line to go, and
Gotcha.
I'm just putting it together. But because every day you think of a new line, and before you know it, I got Triggs worth of material. I got 13 minutes. I'm not trying to do 13 minutes worth of material. So,
But Speak, you got to, because I know you got it, and it's like, come on, dog. You got to empty the clip on this one.
nah, I'm gonna try and keep it to at least 3-4 minutes.
That ain't enough unless you come out with the speed rap. Like, I don't want DOS effects.
Oh no,
I
I'm not.
don't
I'm
want
not gonna
Shaq
be
with the
Doc
foo
effective.
schnickens.
I'm gonna just be punching, Doc. I'm gonna just be punching. That's
Oh,
it.
I got you.
It's just gonna be punches, entendres, and for the smart people, gonna catch it. For the slow people, they gonna have to do a bar for bar breakdown or something. But that's just how it's gonna go. But he's getting fucked up bad. Like, some of the shit I be laughing at. I might not get through it because I'm gonna laugh when I say it.
But see, I'm glad you said that, because that's why I'm not volunteer to judge, because I don't think I can sit through Pills and Big Man. I can't do it.
Oh, that's going to be hilarious.
I can't do it.
Yeah,
You remember
Doc, have you ever seen Big Man?
Yeah, I saw
him and Shaquem?
I saw him and Shaquem. Like, I'm active, but I'm not active. I watched that. I was entertained. Listen, I was entertained. He's entertaining because he's actually in my mind, he's actually trying. Like,
Right.
and I can appreciate it, but at the same, it's kind of whack. But you putting your effort into it, so I respect that. I respect the pen on just on that. No, like you getting up here and you saying it was like he was just making up shit on fly on the wall, grab on the ball, yeah. And when he was saying it with such conviction, like. And in my mind, I'm thinking like, for the lyrics, I'm like, he wrote this shit. But I can respect it because you put your effort into it and you put it on at the end of the day, you put on the show. You represented yourself well. You
There you go.
Speak that when I witnessed that, I don't even have words for what that was. And you remember Broadway said, "You got any words?" He was like, "No, drop the beat." I was like, okay. No opening remarks. Drop the beat. Then I was done from then on. I didn't come here to give no speeches. I came here to battle. Drop the beat. Man, I was done.
Listen, I enjoyed it. And I saw Fields like trying to back out of it due to some technicality about a pitch. Like, dude, listen, man, just have fun with it. It's supposed to be fun, and it's gonna be a show. If nothing else, it's free content for you at the end of the day. Everybody will see you put effort into it. Listen, I was like, he gonna give us Cocaine Strippers Part 2, and I was gonna be cool with it because I expect nothing else from CE. When he got up there, whoop
that trick. Whoop that trick. I was like, no, this dude did not plagiarize a battle rap.
I had to go to his discography. I was like, I've never heard him rap like this. Oh, none of the cover songs or none of the original.
Thank you. But Speak, I had to give you your props though. Speak, I really do have to give you your props because I really appreciated that. One, you true to form, like you that dude everywhere you go. But I appreciate the fact that you wasn't gonna let Resto get away with all those excuses that he gave prior to spitting with the, oh, I'm drunk. I ain't even drunk. I'm hungover. I ain't even hungover. I'm gonna do this off the dome. You was like, nah, you wrote them shits, nigga. Like,
yeah, he tried to say he was coming off the top. Like,
exactly.
Boy, I don't think you know who you talking to in here.
Exactly. But it was like in battle rap, it ain't no excuses. Just spit. Like, dude, we don't care. But of course, you see, you got women up there. You try to appeal to the judges, not realizing that it's that type of game, but it ain't that kind of party.
Right.
So I'm glad you did that. And I'm also glad that you schooled people when they needed to be schooled because, I don't want no smoke with nobody, but I ain't ducking it either. You got me in retirement, but it was some people up there that should not have been judging because for you to have to break down and let them know this is what goes down, that means you shouldn't be up there judging other people for doing it.
Yeah, if you've never seen a battle rap, you can't judge battle rap.
But see, it goes back to that issue, I was talking about. Sometimes it's hard to get people to participate in this shit. Like sometimes you gotta take what you get. I know people was mad when I was always doing the debates, but it's like LV couldn't find nobody.
Exactly. That's how I volunteered for one. He couldn't find anybody. And true to form, CE was disrespectful then too. Like I've never seen nothing like this dude. And I think I'm tired of it now.
Listen, I would say this about CE. CE has remained true to form since day one. And whether you like him or not, CE is going to be CE, and it's not an act. He's dead serious. That is who he is. It's not, I get in the character. No, that's
Speak wasn't there for it. He was like, can we just rap and don't y'all talk while he's rapping? Like I was like, Speak, give it to him. Somebody. He was like, look, y'all got to shut up back there in the peanut gallery. Y'all supposed to be judges. Why are you talking?
Well, I mean, so they used to that beef sector shit where they kind of like chiming in with their own ad libs and shit. But see, speaks from the culture. So Speak knows I just sit there about the most you're gonna get from Speaks. Like that's it.
Bars.
You're gonna get a smack right face. Speaking of what I'm talking about, I'm gonna get the smack right. Ooh, like that's about it.
Yeah.
That's the game, because I take it serious. Like, I know that these rappers put their time and effort into doing what they doing. So I'm not there to cook them. I'm just there to say who won and who had the better material.
Yeah,
That's
that's
it.
part of it.
That's all. I'm just there to cook. Now, if you got a color commentary judge, all right, cool. But if you know nothing about battle rap, you're not listening to the bars, you can't tell me what they said that wowed you,
Or
then
where
you're
they
not
stopped
judging
off.
a battle. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know what you're judging. Like, did it sounded good to you? What did he say that hit you?
Exactly. Exactly. It took a lot. And it's like after a while, I put in the chat, like I can't, and I had to bounce. And again, it ain't even about me, but I was like, come on now. Some people actually did try to do something. And that's just not how we do over here. You a guest over here.
Right.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, like I said, you got to kind of take what you can get sometimes, and hopefully the next one's not like that. But I expect the same judges to a degree. Like,
I mean, if they could get a representative from their sector, since they have people from their sector, but two is too much, because this is a skilled event and it's only about the words. Ain't no beat.
Exactly.
You gotta listen to the words, and that's all it's about. It ain't nothing else to distract you but what they're saying, and that's it. If you can't judge that, then can't be a judge. You're not a fair judge.
Absolutely. And I'll say this and I'll drop down. I just want to take people back to like every single video we've ever seen posthumously with Tupac in the booth. What did he always have?
Pac?
yeah,
Yes.
paper.
Yeah,
Exactly. He was
yeah.
spitting from what he wrote. So for somebody to say it sounds like you wrote it, you were supposed to write it, whether it's written on your brain or on a piece of paper. It was supposed to come from you. And that type of commentary, I was done. I was like, okay, I see what this is. Somebody got some axe to grind, and that's not why we gathered here today. So it's like, don't
I took it as
go
this.
ahead.
What's going on, Ghost? I took it as this. I don't even think it was an axe to grind. I just think they didn't understand what it was supposed to be, honestly. Because if you understood what it was supposed to be, you wouldn't have reacted that way.
But that's in rap, period.
Well, I mean, but if it was like, let's say the Shakim and Big Man stuff, that was more we just freestyling, just saying shit, and it's entertaining. What the battle was supposed to be like, imagine having like me, Propane, and Speak as judges. We're judging it differently because we follow the culture like that. So it's
But it's still about the words. Yeah, the delivery is a part of it as well because you're performing something. But to say, I don't like what you said because it sounds like you wrote it, like that doesn't make sense.
Well, they looked at it as a talent show, and Speak looked at it as I'm judging a battle. Like they came in with two different mindsets. Like,
which is why they shouldn't have been up there. So that was my point. So thanks for proving my point. That's all I needed. That's all I needed. That's all I needed. Now, Nikki out.
All right. Oh, they be staying on my neck, man. But yeah, make sure you tune in tomorrow for the KBK show. We will be have you been keeping up with your NBA?
Yeah, man. I've been watching. I've been waiting on this show. I'll be waiting. I've been sitting there like, yeah, Doc's is going to have to talk about his man's, because things ain't been working out. You mean the way that you're a fan. I don't know what you was expecting. You tell me, Doc.
I mean, I'm gonna get into briefly. Then we're gonna close out for the night.
Yeah. Don't spill too much. Just a little bit, because the first it's 3 minutes left in the first quarter, so you got time to watch the rest of the game.
I will say this. I don't think. I think LeBron is painting himself into probably the worst position as far as like career wise I've ever seen him box himself into. When you talk about a guy, and I ain't gonna give too much, but like when you talk about a guy who's had a lot of control over not only where he's been, but personnel around him, like I think he's boxed himself in so badly with this team. Because when you look, when I look at the Lakers, I think LeBron fits better as a 6-man.
At this age, yeah, I think it's time for him to come off the ball. He got to get off the ball.
I think he can still get his minutes. I think he can still put up his same numbers, but I think he needs to take at this point with this team. He needs to be a Manu Ginobili. What's going on, beautiful? A Manu Ginobili type guy. Give me 30 to 35 off the bench. Be a tone setter, a pace changer off the, but I think he's boxed himself in with, not only, the Bronny thing. We're talking about the contract, and it's not like the Lakers can say, yo, we're going to trade you without your permission. He has a no trade clause in his deal. So he has to sign. I don't even think it's about winning rings at this point.
No, it's not. At this point, what he was doing when he was younger would work because he was younger. When he was in his 30s, he can manipulate more of the game because he can still do it. But now that you're older, you got to come off the ball and play off the ball and let a real point guard come in there and do his thing. And Brown is going to be fine doing what he does because he is still good, but you can't be ball dominant now, bro. That's over with.
Yeah, but we'll get into that a lot, DeMarcus. I was getting into in the Twitter spaces with a lot of and I'm a fan of LeBron, always been a fan, but it's one thing to be a fan, it's another thing to be delusional. And I think
you gotta be a good show. I won't be there, Doc. And yeah. I've been waiting for this show for the longest. I love it.
I know. I mean, they're gonna have to hear some hard truths, man. What's going on, Ghost?
Hey, man, what's going on, man? How them Eagles looking to you?
Eagles. I knew it. Listen, it doesn't a season go by. He doesn't sneak up here with some Eagles talk, especially when they're flying high. Your Eagles are looking good. And I think Saquon, if he, he's in the conversation for MVP, and them turning the ball over to him and the offense over to him, turn Philadelphia's season around.
It's time to turn in them wings, man. Turn in them stars and get you some wings, baby.
No, I'm good, man.
Cowboys looking sorry this year.
We are. Listen, you've been. I know you've been listening from the clouds. Like, yeah, I've been giving them the best. I ain't even called a game this week. I think they got Cincinnati on the schedule. Like, I got Cincinnati in that one. As bad as that defense is playing, but the boys are bad this year, and it is what it is. But Philadelphia, to me, is in that conversation for best team in the NFL just because of how that they're playing ball now. When you're leaning on Saquon and you're able to, take the ball out of Jalen Hurts' hands where he's not having to throw it 35 times a game, it is a different team. And them young boys in that secondary, I knew they was good coming out of college. I knew they was good, like Cooper DeJean and Quinyon Mitchell. I knew they was good coming out of college. I wasn't expecting them to dress this fast this early.
I mean, I'm more impressed with Mitchell than I am DeJean, but it's always going to be hype around DeJean. But Mitchell, man,
hey, the Eagles are a veteran team with a veteran quarterback who's been to the Super Bowl. They are the cream of the crop out here. I know we like what we see with Detroit, but they still ain't proved themselves. The Eagles already have, and if they keep this up into the playoffs, Eagles-Chiefs rematch is going to happen.
You got Chiefs in the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
No, I can't. Not as bad as that offense. The offense has been a mess all year, and I can't put my finger on what it is.
It's been a mess. It was a mess last year. I don't know
they got a
why.
Play on the field, though.
You just gotta trust Kansas City.
12.
I mean, until they out of there,
But
you gotta trust them.
You can't have level 10 confidence with how the season is kind of going. Even with the record, you got lucky against you guys are getting lucky against a lot of mediocre teams.
Guys, I didn't like what I was seeing last year, and look how it turned out. At this point, I just sit back and watch them play. Like I really can't cast doubt on them until they're out of the playoffs.
I mean, I get it. They're the two-time defending champion. I get it, but this last year, Mahomes wasn't playing this bad. But Mahomes wasn't playing. Mahomes has played bad this year by his standards.
Terrible. Played terrible.
Yeah, it's played bad in the offense. Like you guys are having close games with the Raiders, the Panthers. I don't know. We're talking about this stretch of the season. We're not even talking like early in the season. You guys have been week to week to week. You're right, Eucalyptus. The refs, the 12th man. Woo! He's on the Taylor Swift payroll.
Hey,
I don't know, man. Maybe Taylor Swift is like cooking up some black magic behind the scenes or something. I don't know, but man, they be getting lucky.
I don't want to hear no ref talk when the refs broke a NFL record in the Super Bowl against us versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They broke an NFL record for penalties. So I take all the ref help we can get now, because when that happened, nobody had anything to say. They were like, y'all let Brady do all that. And Brady was starting at the 30-yard line every time in that Super Bowl. But we ain't going to talk about penalties or referee talk.
Come on. We're not going to talk about the refs in that Super Bowl. Y'all got manhandled. Tampa Bay came on there and played bully ball.
No, they did. They broke a record for throwing penalties against us. Go back and watch it. I ain't never seen so many flags on the floor.
I've never seen Patrick Mahomes under duress so much in the game. You had to go get an offensive line after that Super Bowl. You had to.
Hey, listen, man. We're in the driver's seat, and we're just, when we're out. But until then, enjoy the show.
I get it.
You a Chiefs fan too?
Yeah, I've been a Chiefs fan. Hey, Coach, man, stop this. You know what it is around here.
And the Chiefs, I thought you grew up in South Philly, dude. Like, what's going on?
Hey, we got a Chiefs bar in South Philly. You forgot?
Yeah, I know.
Oh,
but I mean, come on, bro. Like the Celtics, the Chiefs. Like, do you ever fuck with Philly?
Yeah, baseball, soccer, hockey, everything else besides basketball and football. Because I see what y'all go through every year. I can't join in on that sorrow.
So you wasn't getting your eagle on in 2017?
No, I was supporting y'all. I was watching like, okay, all right.
The whole Philly was on fire. When we won that ball, I seen Cowboy fans like, I want to see Eagles win it just one time. Like, come on, bro.
Look,
like,
I was happy that y'all beat Brady. That I was happy about. But I wasn't an Eagle fan. I ain't never been an Eagle fan, man. Not ever.
Well, you ain't partaking none of the celebrations, nothing.
I actually had a green beard because I lost the bet. I had to go to work with a green beard. I dyed my whole beard green, goatee and all. And everybody in the Wawa thought I was an Eagle fan, but they ain't realize I lost the bet. They like, I like that. I was like, yeah, me too, motherfucker.
Yeah, you wore it with pride.
Yes, sir. I was but yes, sir, man. But no, this year, Ghost, I like y'all, and I know y'all serious.
Yeah, well, like I told Drama at the beginning of the season, man, like, I gotta see it. I'm not really even like, I like it, but we was 10-1 last year. We was literally 10-1.
It's a different vibe, man. Because last year y'all was trying to, Jalen Hurts coming in with the contract. He's good when he's having, give him 20 to 25 passes and lean on the run game. It makes life so. He's not making the bad reads he was last year, and Saquon has changed life for Philly, not just for the offense. The defense ain't on the field all the goddamn time, because Philly's offense was like 3 and out and like a motherfucker when they was
the defense get a lot of time to rest and watch. Yeah.
Hey, speak. I wanted to ask you, what you think about that young boy McCain? Is he gonna get Maxey out of here? Because I'm starting to hear whispers about that now.
No, you keep him because Paul George or Embiid is going to be out of here soon.
Or
Yeah,
both. Yeah, but he
yeah. I
might as
Yeah,
think
well
Embiid. I
put
think
them.
Embiid is done, dude.
yeah. I mean that knee is hurting him, but y'all got something in Maxey and McCain, and you don't move guys like that. You keep them and you keep feeding them, because if them other two guys ain't working, you can't starve him. You gotta let him eat and grow, because them other guys we done seen what they got, and they're not getting any better.
I
Right.
was
But
trading
yo,
B.
Embiid. But my whole thing about Embiid is like, if he was this messed up, why did they play him in the Olympics? I just don't get that.
He played. He wanted to play.
Yeah.
But I
He
mean,
listen.
but
I would
when it
trade
comes to
him
regular
Embiid.
season,
I would trade Embiid.
yeah,
I,
I'm ready. I'm ready to move on from him myself. To
I
be honest
mean,
with
while the value is still sort of high for him, I would trade him.
Yep.
Can you imagine the haul you would get for Embiid if you put him on the market? I mean, if Gobert ass can get 4 first-round picks,
you. Yeah, because I'm ready to tank this season. I'm ready to tank and see what the kid Cooper Flag is about, or the other kid from out of Rutgers.
yeah. But I would trade him. I would trade Embiid. They had opportunity. Listen, before New York moved on Cat, they was thinking about bringing Embiid to New York. I would have did it. I would have did it.
But
Embiid is.
New York ain't had the assets. I don't want none of the New York assets though.
I mean, but you got to kind of like look at the landscape. A lot of teams would want Embiid, but you got to justify that to your fans, because New York. I would have took what they had if you'd gave me a nice.
Nah.
Yeah.
Even
You might be able to
Chinto,
move
Julius
Embiid for
Randle.
Cat.
I mean, I would have moved Embiid for uh Ojinabi, maybe Josh Hart in my 3 first rounders. I felt like especially with the 3 first rounders, because you move Embiid, you're pretty much telling your fan base, we might be in the lottery this year, and it's some talent in this draft compared to last year's. I would have moved him. Embiid, when he came out and said he's not playing back to backs, and he's pretty much like, nah, you're not that dude. On nights
Yeah.
you can be, but consistently, and that's where you lose the argument to the Joker year after year. Like, talent wise, you right up there, but you never goddamn available when we need you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plus his game, his play style is dated now. Like, you're a big who want to shoot threes, but you mainly effective in the post. And nobody plays from the post now except Jokic, and we see what he's doing. He's finding people. That's not Embiid's thing. He like a 7-foot guard. You know what I mean? And you can't build around that. He's a additional guy. He's not somebody you can build around anymore, due to his injuries.
Yeah, like I said, I would move him. If
Yeah. I
Philly
think
don't
he's
move him this
dangerous.
season, I mean he loses value. He's losing value with the stuff coming out from the team meeting and Maxey call him out. That hurts his value. And teams look at that like, oh yeah, instead of the 4
I
first
heard that was
rounders,
fake news, by the way, though.
yeah, I don't think so. I don't think so. I mean, his commentary talking about, I'm not doing back to backs, and I ain't doing this, and I ain't doing like. Yeah, that lets me know that you ain't really serious about it. And for you to come into the season after playing in the Olympics, like I'm hobbled. I need to recover. Like dude, you putting up some major minutes in the Olympics. Like, yeah, I didn't. You wasn't like Tyrese Halliburton wasn't getting no burn. He was getting a lot of burn.
Yeah.
Yeah. He wasn't
What's
like
going on,
who was
Joe?
the Tatum. They said Tatum like the whole final 3 games.
Yeah,
Yeah, he was sitting down, warming that bench heavy. Like, here, wow,
yeah,
he fresh off a chip and can't get in.
yeah. But MB, I would, if I'm Philly, I trade him. I trade him. Let
Yeah,
Maxey
man.
be the focus of the team and build around him.
Yeah, I hear you, man. But yeah, I'm gonna get up off here, man. I appreciate you letting me up, man. Go Eagles.
Appreciate it, Ghost, man. As always, listen, he was going to find his way up here this season to get that shot in. I knew it was coming.
Shout out to the birds. Yeah, Doc. I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here, man. Second quarter going on. I'm gonna let you get back to the game, man. But had to come up and fuck with you, man. I'll be at the show tomorrow, boy.
Yeah, we'll be doing that probably around 9ish tomorrow. So yeah, I know you're gonna want to listen in to the. I got a lot to say, man, because they was coming at me hard on the Twitter Spaces about this shit. Like, how you say that he the GOAT? Like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, man. Clutch Sports is everywhere, man. But it's good to see that you're an independent thinker, man. You know what I mean? You finally coming around to all the shit that you used to cut me off about saying, but it's all good, Doc.
But I gotta listen. You on one side, I'm on the other. That's how this dynamic go. I'm gonna take the opposition, whether I believe it or not. For content purposes, for those who know how to create. Like, I can't get up here. Yeah, you're right. Speak. Like, what kind of show is that?
Yeah, what kind of show is that? No, but yeah, I'm out, Docs, man. Great show. I'll be around tomorrow, big dog.
All right, man. Appreciate it, man. See y'all tomorrow. KBK show, 9:00. Y'all know how we do. We talk a lot of b-ball tomorrow. A lot of other stuff. We'll be talking. We gonna bring the Eric the Enemy story back up again because we'll see if he gets back into the NFL. And before we get up out of here, Belichick is interviewed for the job at North Carolina. University of North Carolina. Tar Heels looking to bring in Belichick to be the head coach. We'll talk about that tomorrow more in detail. I got to get to this game, get you an hour worth of content. But anyway, it ends you off with the phrase that pays over here. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. You know what? I might, going into the new year, I might come up with a new outro phrase. And one it's been stuck in my head, and it fits in a lot of different situations. And the quote goes like this: what they hate in you is not in them. I like that. What they hate in you is not in them. And let that marinate. But anyway, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, but every time you learn. And I'm out.